everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about uni versus online uni. Let's start from the beginning because I'm not making sense. Basically, I am a third year student at Durham, but I am on my year abroad. I'm currently studying with Cologne, but online. This video I'm going to talk you through how Cologne's going so far, but I'm also going to compare Durham with Cologne and then compare online uni versus normal uni. Before we get started with this video, if you do like what you see, our Christmas subscriber goal this year is 900, which is more than double last year's subscriber goal, which is a big push. So if you do like what you see, please subscribe to me so we can reach our Christmas goal. First of all, even though learning at the end of term last year was meant to be online, we didn't get anything. We didn't get any online learning. We were just left to sit our exams with no knowledge after all them strikes, after being thrown out for COVID. Then we didn't get any online learning. They were just like, yeah, go do your exams, good luck. First I'm going to compare online learning to normal learning. Let's go. What do I think about online learning? I love it. Okay, I wouldn't pick it. For classes, I would 100% pick it. In terms of living away for uni versus living at home for uni, oh my god, I'd never pick living at home in a million years. I'm a student, get me out of here. This is not where I belong. This is not where I should be. I do prefer online classes, and I prefer them for a few reasons. First of all, I hate lectures anyway. I despise them. It's not an area in which I thrive. I never have. I probably never will. I just don't like lectures. I am too focused on other stuff. Like, it's not a good learning environment for me. Whereas online, there's none of that stress of like going to a lecture, being in a room. There's none of that. Shut up. The Amazon was about to go off. She thought I said her name instead of lecture. That's why I did that. With online classes, there's no stresses like that. Like, you're in your own room, you're comfortable. There's none of that. And if like worst comes to the worst, even though in my classes we're not allowed to switch our cameras off, if worst comes to worst, you can switch your cameras off, or you can just slam the laptop shut. I did that once just because I really needed to pee. Yeah, that's one thing about Zooms, is you're comfortable, you're in control of the space, you do what you want. So I do prefer that about online classes. Also, I'm in my pajamas for most of them. Like today I have an 8 AM till 11 AM. I get ready quick in the morning, so if I was in uni I'd have to get up at 20 to 8 for that. But because I'm at home, I literally roll out of bed at 7:57. No, I don't get dressed. Not for an 8 AM. I'm not a psycho. I put on my jumper so it looks like I'm dressed, and I do my hair, and then we're at the laptop for 8 o'clock. So it's all good. I do like that aspect. There's also less distractions with online uni. Even though you've got other people on the screen, and I do like to, sorry if you're in my classes, I doubt you are, but I do like to look at everybody at once. We all have to have our cameras on. I like to have it on gallery view so I can see everybody, see everything that's going on, because I don't know. I don't stare at anybody, don't get it twisted, but I do like to have everyone on my screen at once, which is, I don't know if that's strange. Anyway, there are less distractions. Also, because you're on your laptop, you have to be on your laptop to see what's going on, so you're not like browsing. Though I do still get distracted sometimes. For example, yesterday, my new iPad arrived. So this morning, did I pay that much attention in class? Probably not, because I was so excited playing on my new iPad. But usually I'm more concentrated. Well, for me, when I'm in a lecture hall, I'm focusing on every tiny thing that's happening. I'm very rarely focused on what the lecturer is saying. I'm like super hypersensitive to everything else in the room except the lecturer. That's why I hate lectures, because I cannot focus on the teacher. When there's hundreds of people in the room, I cannot focus on what the teacher is saying. I feel like it's often a waste of my time because I'm just sat there thinking about a million and one other things going on, not thinking about what the lecturer is saying, which is why when I'm usually in uni, our lectures are most of the time recorded. My attendance in uni for lectures is not the best, but then because most of them are recorded, I just watch them over the recorded, and that's much better for me personally. So I feel like already having it online this year is better for me personally. It's also something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do my A-levels online. I cried about wanting to do my A-levels online before I started sixth form, and my mum was like, no way. I even rang up an online school and I was like talking with them and everything, and my mum was like, you're not doing it. And I was like, mama, please. But I mean, that's a different story. I think online learning has always been my vibe, so I am enjoying it. In terms of seminars and stuff, I also prefer them online. Yesterday, something happened in class. I can't remember what it was. Nobody else would have noticed it, but I did. I can't remember what it was. For the life of me, not got a clue. But anyway, I was just like, oh, if you're in class in uni, if you did that, people think they have to react. You don't, you just had enough, alright? I'm just putting my head in their hands. Whereas I feel like in a physical class, people think they have to react. Like the people sat next to you are like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm fine, just leave me be. Whereas in online uni, like yesterday something happened and it made me cringe and I was like, oh my god. So I just pushed my camera up and then I was like this for like a full 10 minutes and there was nobody to judge me, nobody to ask me if I was doing good. I was just happy with my head in my hands like, oh my god, what is happening? Do you know what I mean? I feel like that was a niche argument on my part, but hey ho. I prefer that in online class. There's less judgment. You can be a lot more free, I guess. I mean, with my classes, maybe a bit less free because we do have our cameras on. Also with food, I've worked it out. So I've always been quite sneaky with eating in class. In school, I didn't eat in class. My school was hella strict. That wouldn't have gone by. But in sixth form, I always had like crackers in my pocket, and I was like, nobody knew. Plain dry crackers. Why did I think they were the bee's knees? I honestly loved them. On online uni, I push up the camera so you can just see above my nose, and then I'm eating beneath. Say when you're in a seminar in normal uni and someone doesn't answer a question or someone doesn't contribute, it's really, really awkward and it's horrible. I just hate that. I hate that wait in between when nobody's speaking. In online uni, in a lot of my classes, I am happy to break the silence, but if I'm just not in a good mood and nobody's speaking, I can like look away, switch off my ears, go on my phone whilst this pause is happening, so it's not as awkward. I feel like when you're in class, even if someone's not going to shout at you, because it is uni so they shouldn't really be shouting at you, but I'm kind of traumatized from my super strict high school, so when you're in a seminar in uni you feel like pressure because the teachers are right there and they could like, I don't know, blow you up if you don't do the right thing. I get scared. Whereas when you're in online uni, at first when I did the pre-semester course, yes, I was terrified then, but now I'm like, what can they do? I can just leave the chat. Sorry, but I can. Now there's less stress with that. Obviously if I know the answer or I'm in a good mood, then I'll speak up, but if I'm not in a good mood or I don't know the answer, then I won't. And now the cons of online uni, I guess living at home, no motivation. Why have I said that? Oh yeah, because if I don't want to go to class, I don't usually miss class. My attendance is far better than in Durham, but sometimes I miss class. Definitely not right now. I'm filming this video. I should be in a lecture. Definitely not. It was optional, okay? No, it was a guest lecture. No, that was last night. That was last night. I missed a guest lecture yesterday. I don't skip class on purpose, okay? I completely forgot yesterday. I was actually really excited for it. Oh man. You can just forget like that. Especially when you don't really know your classmates. In some of my classes I know my classmates, but like in the one I should have gone to last night I didn't know them, so I completely forgot. Whereas when you're in uni, because all my friends are on my course, then I know the ins and outs. There's no motivation when you're at home, I'll be honest, really, is there? Because I like working in the library or stuff like that to boost my motivation, and I work a lot better not at home, not in my room. Even when I'm in uni I don't work in my room, so yeah, there's less, like, it's a less good working environment. There's no socializing. I don't really have friends in Wales. I have a few, I have a couple. A shout out to any friends I have in Wales because you're few and far between. I have a couple of friends in Wales, but like generally I am a complete and utter loner. In uni I've got my friends. I don't have many friends. I'm not saying I'm a big social butterfly in uni, but I'm not in a lockdown or social distancing, when I was in uni. I've not been in uni since before the pandemic, so yeah, it's obviously less socializing now. Right, now I'm going to move on to comparing Durham and Cologne. Bear in mind I'm comparing Durham in person with Cologne online. I have actually really been enjoying my classes with Cologne. So in Durham, my classes are usually about an hour-long lecture and an hour-long seminar per module, whereas in Cologne, it ranges, but there's rarely a class that lasts less than 3 hours. There's one big class, but generally there's less than 30 in each of my classes, whereas in Durham there's, I think in my classes, 260. But at seminars there's obviously less people, so that's a big difference. I thought when I saw the timetable that Cologne classes were like never less than 3 hours, I thought, oh my god, no. This is not going to work, because I cannot focus in Durham. I stare at the teacher in these hour-long lectures. I stare at them and I'm like, come on, focus, Megan, you can do it. And I just can't focus. I take nothing in from being in a lecture, absolutely nothing. My brain is not built for that kind of stuff. So I was really worried. I've never had the best attention span in lessons. It obviously depends which lessons, but generally in lesson environments my attention is not where it should be. Like, I try to make it where it should be, but it's often not. I was really worried. I was like, 3 hours? That's horrific. However, I've actually been really engaged in the Cologne lectures, and I think part of this is, yes, because we're not in the lecture hall, and like I've said, that's not my vibe, but part of it I think is the teaching style. I do prefer the teaching style in Cologne compared to Durham, because obviously an hour lecture and a 3 hour lecture are very different. In Durham, the lectures, it feels like they're rushing, they're just going through a PowerPoint, they're only reading it off the slides, like it's very staccato and not chill. It's very, I'm just reading this off the slides, I'm only here because I want to be here. There's not really much personalization from the lectures, and that's not the lecture's fault. I can think of a good few lecturers that would be really good if they had more time in their classes. Like, they're really good, they're really interesting, but because it's only a 1 hour lesson and they're just talking to a room of 260 people, which isn't very fun, then they're not the funnest of lectures. And I've always said this, I don't know why lectures are a learning method, because I don't think it's possible to learn from them. Honestly, I don't. But anyway, that's a whole different vibe. That, I think, is what a lot of uni in the UK is like. But then with the 3 hour lectures, it's completely different. It's like being in school. You know, in school, your lessons are a lot more interactive. Sorry, I'm rubbing my toe against the desk. I'm talking about the good lessons in school. Like, you know, the lessons you really enjoy in school and are really good and you, like, learn a lot. No, you know, in school, you feel like you know your teacher, so you want to do well. You can ask questions and stuff, whereas in uni you don't know them, so you don't care if you pass or fail their course, unless you care about passing and failing yourself. But like, there's no additional motivation to that, and there's no like personal touches. I thought that was like the lack of personalization, like the lectures not knowing who you are, like it just being a really cold kind of environment, I thought was just the difference between school and uni. I think it's just the difference between school and UK uni, because it's not like that in Cologne at all. Cologne, it feels like you're back in school, and not in a bad way, back in the late stages of school, not getting screamed at by your teachers, but there's more of a respect level. It's more of like a discussion, all that kind of thing going on. So that's a really welcome break. And it's also taught me that UK unis are I'm not just talking about Durham though, because I think all unis are like that. The UK education system for higher education definitely needs work. They say, oh, when you leave school, uni is much harder because it's all independent, you don't know people, blah 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 blah. In Cologne, it doesn't feel like it's independent, even though we do obviously have independent stuff. We get enough support and things within the lecture, and they know everybody's names, and obviously it's smaller classes, but at home in uni, or they could just make the classes smaller to make it more personal. That's a whole different tangent I'm going down, but yeah, I definitely prefer Cologne's approach. It's a lot more like school than uni in terms of learning, and it's a lot easier to learn in school than it is to learn in uni. I prefer the 3 hour lectures because they're not rushing, and the lecturers seem really interested in what they're talking about. They seem really, they want you to do well. That's the biggest difference. At home in uni, I feel like the lecturers couldn't give a damn whether you do well or you don't. Whereas in Cologne, definitely they want you to do well and they want you to learn. In the UK, I feel like lecturers are just doing it because it's their job. With Cologne, it feels like they actually have a passion. They love the topic. Don't get me wrong, there are lecturers in Durham that I have that are fantastic, but with the way uni is, with like only hour slots and these massive classes, they don't get to do that. So I'm not attacking my lecturers in Durham, I'm attacking the UK higher education system. It feels like they want you to do well. They have the time to go through everything. They have the time to make sure everybody's understanding. They have the time to make it more interactive, to make it more interesting, to show a few videos, to like do all these different things. Whereas at home, it's literally just feels like they're reading off a slide. It feels more like a lesson than a lecture. So yeah, I think that's my video complete. I'm not bashing Durham. I have to say this disclaimer for the third and final time. I'm not bashing Durham because I can see the potential in the classes I had in Durham, but it wasn't fulfilled because you only get an hour slots and it's 260 kids in the rooms. I think the UK higher education system does need to take a look at other countries. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative or interesting or none of the above. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe because our Christmas subscriber goal is 900 subscribers. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe because that's a big goal and I'm really scared we're not going to get there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you. Is there going to be another video before Vlogmas? I think I'm doing another video before Vlogmas starts. So I'll see you in the next video and then I'll see you for Vlogmas and Christmas. Ho ho ho. I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye.